Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Drug and Alcohol Attorneys video newsletter. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Audra and I spent this Thanksgiving moving my house and moving our office so we could become 100% virtual. And I wanted to share the story with you because I think it has some relevance to the work that we do. A lot of the time we get families that call us and they say to us, we don't understand why our loved one either won't go to treatment or won't stay in treatment. And so when I thought about it, especially this weekend, I think there's an analogy between what I experienced this weekend and what a family experienced when the loved one is dealing with substance use and mental illness. I spent the last 2 years living in a 700 square foot apartment, and we had our offices in executive suites, and it was good. But I always had a dream of finally living back in a house where I could park my own car in my own garage and have a backyard. And run our office virtually. And so this weekend finally that dream became a reality, and I thought it would be an easy process, but I have to tell you it was absolutely traumatic. At one point over the weekend I felt like I was gonna have a meltdown. Boxes everywhere, stuff was missing, some things were broken, trash all over the house. I moved into an older house that had been newly renovated, so of course we had to deal with the issues of the punch list and things not working, and just silly things like trying to find out, I couldn't find my shaving cream this morning, just little things that made me nuts. I also had to join a gym because my old building had a little gym there, so I didn't have to worry about that. And I, of course, went to the gym this morning, and there's all this strange equipment, and, would I find my pull-up bar that I like, and all these different people there. And I have to tell you, it was really unnerving. And I think what happens is that we don't like change, right? I mean, we're uncomfortable with change. I mean, I just finally got one of these new iPhones, and I'm not a techie person. I typically change my phone once every 3 or 4 years when things start to fail. And even just getting a new phone was for the first day or two was uncomfortable, right? Just wasn't used to using this thing. And I think where that comes from is our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind equates change with danger, right? So for me, when I was making all these changes, moving house, moving the office, joining a new gym, my subconscious mind is saying, danger, and that's why it feels uncomfortable, right? Because I was used to my status quo. Well, if you're somebody who is used to using drugs on a consistent basis or has been dealing with mental illness on a consistent basis, for you, that's your status quo. That's normal life for you. And so, when a family calls us and they say, I don't understand why can they not stop using? Why will they never stay in treatment? And the reason that it seems to be that way is because for them dealing with these issues, that's their status quo. And so when a family is saying to the loved one, go to treatment, stay in treatment, and their loved one looks at them like they're all crazy, what's going on is their loved one is trying to deal with the change from status quo to treatment or an intervention or going to court because there's a Marchman Act or a guardianship in place. And so that I think is what's going on here. And so I think from an objective perspective, what we have to understand is that somebody who is being asked to make a change in their life, whether it's substance use, mental illness, or even something as small as moving house, right? That is an uncomfortable feeling for us. And so if you're a family who is trying to understand why your loved one either won't go to treatment or won't stay in treatment, understand that for them, their sort of daily habits, whatever that may be, is their status quo. And when we ask them to make a change, their subconscious mind is telling them that's a dangerous situation and it should be avoided. So I wanted to share that with you because this weekend has been, I hate to use the word traumatic, but it has been. I started to, on Saturday night when I went to bed, for the first time in my new house, I said to myself, maybe I made a mistake. I should have just stayed with what I had. I should have been happy with what I had. But I had always sort of set myself this goal that I was one day going to be living, back in a house and have a place to park my garage. Instead of having 700 square foot, I'd have 1,400 square foot. So I actually have room to live and just feel comfortable in my own space. So I wanted to share that with you. We're getting the house together. I'm getting my office together. I have a new desk and chair, and so I don't have Wi-Fi yet, so thank goodness for a hotspot on my new iPhone. But we're going to be here. We're still here 24/7. We're looking forward to helping as many people as we can. And stay safe and be well. And thank you once again.